So, if you're currently someone building with AI, you might be wondering, how much can I expect to spend after a month, 2 months? So, in this video, I want to break down my experience. I spent about 150 hours last month working with both Windsurf and Cursor, and I want to break down, like, first, which is cheaper on a cost per query basis, but also some of my learnings. There's some interesting stuff here that I think people would be interested to know if they're trying to optimize their budget. So, firstly, I'm going to explain the basic differences between the two on their billing. On a surface level, Windsurf looks a little cheaper because the subscription is $5 less and you get the same amount of credits. But when we look at Cursor, currently the way it works is it subtracts one per query. So every time you send a prompt to the Cursor agent, just subtracts one from the premium models. Whereas Windsurf, the way it's working is the user prompt credits is the same as Cursor, but they also have these flow action credits. And these credits can subtract 5, 10, 15, 20 per query, depending on the complexity of the query. Basically, the way the flow action credit works, every single time the Windsurf agent is navigating, reading, updating a file, it's subtracting from these credits. And the real kicker is when you go over. So this 1500 is free. Well, comes with a subscription. But with the flex credits, 300 flex credits are $10. And the flow action credits and the user prompt credits apply to those flex credits. So what I'm saying is that those 300 credits go very quickly. Like when you're subtracting potentially 10, 15 credits per query, you're going to run out very quickly. And I'm going to show you the data here to see that for yourself. So when we go into Cursor and the Windsurf budget summary here, you can see I spent roughly 120 in Cursor in the month of March. I sent about 2,000 queries. With Windsurf, I spent less, but that's just because I used it less. I spent $80 over Cursor, whereas $25 over Windsurf, and my total cost per query after this for Cursor was about 5.4 cents, and with Windsurf, it was 27 cents. Total, I spent about $160. So my learnings here is that with Windsurf, as soon as you go over the limits of the 500, it gets very expensive because the flex credits are being subtracted very quickly. And I think the reason why they're doing this is whenever you're like, let's say you're using the API yourself, and you'll probably see this if you're using Klein. The budgeting is based on usage. So specifically the amount of tokens in your input and output. I think both of these companies are trying different strategies to cover this. This is my speculation, but I have some anecdotal evidence based on my streams. I think Windsurf's strategy is to have these flow action credits to basically be a proxy for the the token length, right? It's like, okay, if it reads another file, that's probably going to be more tokens. So they added another credit for that. Whereas Cursor, I think they're doing some optimization behind the scenes. For example, when I use Cursor, there are times that I will get back a response from the AI that tells me that it didn't have access to the uh, internals of the function. On the stream, I got a response back saying that they couldn't see the inside of the function. Obviously, this is anecdotal evidence, and AI models can hallucinate, but given this and some other experiences where I felt like Cursor was kind of forgetting things and doing things a little bit differently, and I get like better response with Windsurf. I'm currently thinking that Cursor maybe is trying a different strategy to basically come up with the difference there on the token length costs. Now, it could also be that Cursor is just losing a lot more money than Windsurf. It's hard to know for sure there because they're not public companies or anything. Um, but this is really interesting. I think I think obviously that this is April 2025. This is a fast moving field. This could be outdated very quickly. But I think that there's some learnings here in the sense that as of right now, if you go over the current premium model credits that they give you, Cursor is a much better option, like 4 or 5 times better, especially if you're doing complex queries. Now, if you're doing very simple queries, maybe Windsurf would be closer, but I think as of right now, this is my current strategy. I'll be using Cursor as soon as I hit the limits. I will use the free credits for Cursor, then the free credits for Windsurf, and then I will just use Cursor for the difference. Now, as for me, I'm looking forward to some new models that hopefully will be a little cheaper. And I'll also do some other optimization in terms of not using the premium models for every request. Like if I'm doing something simple, I probably don't need to use cloud thinking so much. I could use maybe even 3.5. Um, so these were my findings. I hope this is helpful for people. I'll be making a lot more videos like this. And um, thanks for watching.